Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! I have never felt so honored to be in your guys' presence to talk about Descendants and Zombies, and there is no better way to spend your Saturday morning than with Jonathan Clarke on YouTube discussing Descendants and Zombies. So with that being said, I will be here all throughout the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, uploading videos for you on Descendants and Zombies. There is no greater honor that I could have been given or to share with each and every one of you than talk about Descendants and Zombies, because I really am the biggest Descendants and Zombies fan in the world. I will forever miss Ruby Rose Turner being a part of the franchise. Oh, my heart was broken last year when they made the announcement that Ruby was parting ways with the Descendants franchise, because I believed she had so much to offer to the franchise. But notwithstanding her contributions to the franchise, which was very short-lived, I think that Clarke and Malia Baker are doing a fabulous job bringing this one to life. Not forgetting about the contributions of Dove Cameron or Sophia Carson, who showed up with so much passion bringing their characters to life in a franchise that went on to become so revered. I just think that people like Clarke Cantrell and Malia Baker have done it with such passion that will never ever be duplicated or surpassed. I think these are stars that Disney are never going to see again. This is the last of a generation, I will say that. I've seen some of the best come and go through the doors of Disney. The Disney door has somewhat been revolving over the years with Miley Cyrus, Demi Lovato, Selena Gomez seeing their exits, Ashley Tisdale, who just came back for the Venetian for a reboot. It was nice seeing her come back to reprise her role as Candace on that TV series, and never enough of this can be done. And now Demi Lovato and Joe Jonas coming back to reprise their roles as Mitchie and Shane Gray. That's going to be really cool for the Camp Rock 3 reboot, but I think never enough of this is done or seen, so I think that we're really in the last of a generation, which is something we really should enjoy. So as many times as Clarke Cantrell and Malia Baker want to come back to reprise their roles, even Ruby Rose Turner, I fully support that, because this really is the last of a generation. Disney will never see stars like this ever again because of how much of a revolving door it's been. You know, just last year they honored Miley Cyrus as the greatest Disney legend of all time, the youngest Disney legend ever. And I think that if you can give Miley Cyrus the stage and that honor, you too can see that honor bestowed upon your favorite Descendants and Zombie stars, the cast of Descendants and Zombies, and I'm here to make sure that happens. If there's one thing that I've wanted to do forever and always, it's to secure the futures of your favorite Descendants and Zombie stars and to ensure that they go down in history for being GOATs, the greatest of all time. Because really, that's all I've ever wanted to be. That's all I've ever wanted my life to amount to, is being a GOAT, the greatest of all time. And I've had a fear of being forgotten about. That's my greatest fear in life, to be forgotten about. So I think through the power of this YouTube channel, I've reached more people than ever before. I've had a global reach because of Descendants and Zombies and being a fan of it. This is not the only franchise I've ever been a fan of. I've been a fan of franchises like Hannah Montana and High School Musical through the years, but I think this is the most revered one of all time. You can always present the argument of how High School Musical and Hannah Montana have become some of the most revered, but this hands down is revered. If you were to look up the definition of revered in the English dictionary, you would definitely find Descendants and Zombies, because Descendants and Zombies fans are incredibly supportive, they are incredibly loyal to what they love, and they know what they love. And I think that it was shown at the Worlds Collide Tour this past summer when you guys came up by the thousands. You came up by the thousands with your glitter signs, you bought the merch, you were so proud to be a part of a moment. You saw the rapid ascension of Clarke Cantrell, Freya Sky, to superstardom seemingly overnight. And man, did it ever happen overnight for Freya Sky. She became a superstar overnight because of songs not only from the Zombie Swore Dawn of the Vampire soundtrack, but from her EP, Gold's Gone. It's a song that I've listened to 1,000 times since I caught the premiere of the Descendants Zombies Worlds Collide Tour collaborative music video, which has gotten thousands of views on a YouTube channel with over 500,000 subscribers for Freya Sky. In case you didn't hear me the first time, 500,000 subscribers. Having 500,000 subscribers really is a dream of mine. I would love to have 500,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel. I doubt I will ever get to 500,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel, but I would love to have 500,000 subscribers, because I think that this story of Freya Skies is a story that is going to be miraculous. It's going to be something that is going to be spectacular, and it's going to be something that's really going to be history that we are all going to be a part of. This character, Nova, has so much of a story to offer to the Zombies franchise, just as Meg Donnelly did as Addison Wells in that franchise. She came from out of nowhere. Nobody knew who she even was. And look what she became, a true inspiration to everybody, herself and Milo Manheim's character Zed. Zed and Addison really, as far as I'm concerned, became the power couple of this new generation. I think we can always talk about Troy Bolton and Gabriela Montez from years prior being huge for High School Musical and being Disney's most revered power couple of all time, and they'll really go down in history. There's no doubt about that. High School Musical will forever be honored with so many on-stage productions, and just last year, high schools from all across the globe acquired the license to perform on-stage productions of High School Musical, which must be a huge honor for a lot of high schools to have the chance to do that, because I wished many years ago, that my high school would have had the honor of doing it. Now, I've been involved with every major stage production that you can think of outside of high school, but I really wish I would have had the honor of growing up in high school with the opportunity to have done that stage production. It wasn't until many years later. But, having that honor must be a huge honor for so many high schools around the globe. But the thing is, you'll always hear this conversation about Troy Bolton and Gabriela Montez, but I think that Zed and Addison definitely have become the most revered power couple of all time. That duet someday really brought the Zombies franchise to life and really got it off the ground. It propelled it to superstardom, and so many accolades have been bestowed upon your favorite zombie stars since that duet was recorded, because that was really a moment in time. They hugged each other. They realized they had gotten to a point with the Zombies franchise they never ever thought they would ever see. And it was just amazing for me seeing the emotion, the outpouring of emotion, the tears in the eyes of Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim. They knew they had gotten to a moment because they had watched High School Musical, they had watched Hannah Montana, become some of the most revered Disney Channel TV series of all time. And I know this because I was there. I was there for the premiere of Hannah Montana on March 24th, 2006. And I saw every episode of Hannah Montana become so revered for Disney Channel and become the highest rated Disney Channel TV series to ever premiere. Second to that was Wizards of Waverly Place. I was there for that too. Wizards of Waverly Place was the second highest premiered movie on Disney Channel with 11.9 million people tuning in. High School Musical holds the record for 17.5 million. I believe on the night of Descendants 2 premiere they had 8.9 million viewers, which for that generation was a high viewership, but I think that Descendants is definitely going to get higher than that. I would say probably Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland has a chance of breaking the record. I'll go on record for saying that because of how many fans we have now of Descendants and Zombies. There are 10 million fans of Descendants and Zombies across all social media platforms and 600,000 alone on YouTube. So be it that we have 600,000 people on YouTube watching Descendants and Zombies videos every night. That means I've got my work cut out. I've got a lot of work to do because I've got a lot of Descendants and Zombies fans I have yet to meet. The greatest honor of my life was having the honor to meet each and every one of you, to hear your stories about Descendants and Zombies, which is why I love recording this podcast. Because here's my issue with podcasts about Disney. It's always about Marvel. It's always about National Geographic. If Marvel.com has a weekly podcast they upload every Wednesday, how come D23.com doesn't have a Descendants or Zombies podcast? You can't honestly tell me that Disney doesn't have the financial backing or support to launch a Descendants and Zombies podcast. They've obviously left that responsibility up to me, which really is the greatest honor of my life, because this is the official Descendants and Zombies podcast. This is the best Descendants and Zombies YouTube show and channel on YouTube, and it will forever and always be here for each and every one of you, because that's all I've ever wanted to do. Ever since I was 13 years old and knew how to podcast, discovered the power of podcasting, I wanted to reach a global audience. I wanted to fall into a niche that would be forever supportive of my vision for the foreseeable future, and that niche just happened to be Descendants and Zombies. I found out the power of Descendants and Zombies, how incredibly loyal the fans were to the franchises they loved, and how they knew what they wanted. And it was showed at the Worlds Collide Tour this year when you showed up with your glitter signs, you bought the merch, you danced, you clapped your hands, you jumped up out of your seats, and you were really left on the edge of that seat because you didn't know what to expect from one moment to the next. Even when Shrimpy jumped out on stage, everybody was so excited. They were shouting out, "Oh my God," they couldn't believe they were there for that moment, and they saw the performances of Kylie Cantrell and Freya Sky, which was really interesting because we not only saw the characters Nova and Red be introduced to the fans, we also saw a side of Kylie Cantrell and Freya Sky which was really emotional. The emotional breakdown of Freya Sky is something I will never forget. 2 different times it happened. One with a performance with Malachi Burton for Rewrite the Stars, where he put his arm around her and said she was going to be something special. And I really believe that his assumption has never been more accurate than ever before. If there's one thing that guy said that proved that he was really smart, was that Freya Sky had a future that was undeniable, because I, for one, believe believe that she's going to be the next Taylor Swift, or Ariana Grande. There's no argument coming from me about that. There's no argument that could be presented about that. Because when you have someone who's just 15 years old, so proud to wear a Mickey Mouse t-shirt, like myself, it reminds me of myself because I have a collection of Mickey Mouse t-shirts that I've collected over the years, and Mickey Mouse merch. Some of it you see there behind me. I've never seen somebody that's so proud to be in a moment with each and every one of you and to be there with each and every one of you to experience it. So if there ever was somebody who deserved to be the next Taylor Swift and have her legacy forever and always solidified, it is Freya Sky. I just want to put that out there. And I just want to put it out there that I'm incredibly proud of how far Freya Sky has come in such a short amount of time. She's really the exemplification of how far dedication can take a person. And I think everybody can draw inspiration from her. And I think her future has never looked brighter than ever before. I think that scene where they were lifted off the ground in front of a green screen for that song Dream Come True was beautifully done. It was beautifully collaborated. There was no better way for two people to hit it off than after seeing each other in a reoccurring dream. Because I myself have wanted to meet somebody I've seen in a reoccurring dream. It's never happened to me. Many times in my lifetime I thought I may have seen somebody I saw in a reoccurring dream. But this was a beautiful way to set it up. You know, the passing of the torch was going to be happening for Zombie Swore Down and the Vampires. We were waiting on this moment. There was a song to officially pass the torch near the end of the movie, the 90-minute production. But for me, the thing is, you just can't tell a story in under 90 minutes and think it's told and completed, because there's still so much more of a story to be told. And that's the beautiful thing about Zombies 5. Sure, everybody's going to be a teenager by the time Zombies 5 happens, because it's not predicted to happen. The release window is not suggesting until 2028. But even if it doesn't happen for the next 5 years, that will give me 5 years to create so many beautiful Descendants and Zombies videos and offer you predictions and thoughts on what direction the franchise is headed in. And after Zombies 5 happens, I'll make hundreds of videos on Zombies 5 and my thoughts on it and the prediction of the future, because I think you can have up to 10 Zombies movies and still not complete the franchise, because there are so many characters that have yet to see their introduction into this. I'd even go for Trolls being a part of this. I would even go for Disney characters like Stitch being a part of this. And I would also go for, you know, Pirates of the Caribbean kind of thing, elements being brought into it. I think Freya Sky would have been an excellent Elizabeth Swann in a live-action Pirates of the Caribbean adaptation. And this is a perfect way to kind of bring Pirates of the Caribbean back into the Disney franchise, because I think that after 5 movies of Pirates of the Caribbean, with how revered that was and how much work ethic was put behind and demonstrated for the collaboration of it, because I remember how much work ethic went into and how many millions of dollars were spent on Johnny Depp and, you know, the controversy surrounding him and his exit with Amber Heard and all this stuff from the franchise. All his movie deals were pretty much just, you know, thrown away and gone up in smoke because of it. It's just, you know, an exemplification of how fast everything can blow up in your face. But I think this is the perfect way of bringing, you know, Pirates of the Caribbean elements back into a story. I think that Descendants has never presented a more evident, you know, opportunity to really bring things back to life more than ever before. This morning, for example, I saw a live-action Hercules being filmed for 2027. It's currently under production. They've got the cast announced. It looks fabulous. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, Kylie Cantrell would be a fabulous Meg, or a fabulous character even in the Hercules live-action franchise. Or how about a live-action Little Mermaid for her? And forever, I will throw Ruby Rose Turner's name into the conversation for being the live-action Rapunzel for the upcoming live-action Tangled remake. I say this because Sabrina Carpenter has forever and always been the revolving door with the Rapunzel live action. The Rapunzel role has always and forever been a revolving door for the live action Tangled. And I think the conversation has revolved a little bit too much around Sabrina Carpenter. With how much passion that goes behind Ruby Rose Turner forever and always wanting to play the live action Rapunzel, I think Disney and Disney fans should be more supportive of her doing it, because I know Kylie Cantrell is a huge fan of her wanting to play Rapunzel. And I fully support that. I would be front and center for the live-action Tangled premiere if Ruby Rose Turner was going to play Rapunzel. Because I think Sabrina Carpenter is just there to take a role away from everybody and to overshadow everybody, and I think that she's really become overrated. Taylor Swift is the same. I think that Sabrina Carpenter and Taylor Swift are very overrated. They're beautiful girls, mind you, but they are very overrated. So as a result of this, they're overshadowing Kylie Cantrell, they're overshadowing Ruby Rose Turner, and for sure they're overshadowing Malia Baker. Because when you really think about a personality that someone would dream of having, or meeting in a girl, it would definitely have to be Malia Baker. She is somebody who is very passionate about every role she's ever had. From Are You Afraid of the Dark to Descendants, she has skyrocketed in popularity, and she's just as big of an inspiration to many people, thousands of people, as someone like a Kylie Cantrell. Now, Kylie Cantrell's resume blows everybody out of the water. I mean, Kylie Cantrell is unprecedentedly, gorgeous. She's so talented. She can do everything. Like Miley Cyrus years ago, the argument was presented that Miley Cyrus can sing and do anything, and she really could. But if there was ever a girl to take over that distinction in 2025, it would have to be Kylie Cantrell. Because the amount of PR that girl has done for Descendants to really bring this to life in a way that nobody's ever brought it to life before is unprecedented. Kylie Cantrell's work ethic is unprecedented, and it never ceases to blow my mind. So I've kind of wanted to take away the criticism. I've kind of wanted to shy away from that for your favorite Descendants and Zombie stars, because I think never enough nice things can be said about them, and enough prosperity can be shown to them for the foreseeable future. Because when you have a franchise like Descendants that's captivated millions of people, and people draw inspiration from it, I think that this is just a wonderful opportunity. If you've never been a fan of Disney before, let me say this. Now is the time for you to become a fan of Disney. Now is the time for you to be forever and always supportive of your favorite Disney stars or Disney shows. I was really proud to see Ashley Tisdale come back to reprise her role as Candace on Phineas and Ferb's reboot. I think this was long overdue. I think that Camp Rock 3 being greenlit was a fantastic decision, seeing Joe Jonas come back as Shane Gray and Demi Lovato reprising her role as Mitchie. That's going to be great. But I've often said this too. I don't care what you ever reboot for Disney. I don't care what franchises you bring back from the dead. You're never going to surpass the legacies of Descendants and Zombies, because Descendants and Zombies is at a point now where the conversation can't happen unless you're talking about Descendants and Zombies. That's the thing about Descendants and Zombies. Descendants and Zombies is pretty much Descendants, Zombies, or die for every person who ever was a fan of Descendants and Zombies, and I find that really cool. I'm really intrigued about the foreseeable future for Descendants and Zombies and how far they are going to take this. I think that going overseas with Leg 2 of the Worlds Collide Tour is an incredible opportunity for fans of Descendants and Zombies overseas who have never seen this before. With how energetic the crowds are, how popular the stars are, this is going to be magnified. This is going to be unprecedented. I'm incredibly excited to see YouTube videos uploaded from people in the UK that are going to be attending this. Ticket prices are going to average about $200. That's going to be the starting price for the tickets. It's pretty reasonable because of how popular Descendants and Zombies is. There's no denying coming from me about that. And I think that it's going to create more opportunities for people to post great reviews. And here's the thing. This is going to create opportunities for people to actually post great reviews about Descendants and Zombies. Reviews that I'm going to be intrigued by to see if it actually happens. Because I know a lot of people were posting reviews about the Worlds Collide Tour where they were coming away feeling disappointed. The quality of the merch. Everything from the quality of the merch to the ticket prices, which are going to be starting for $200 for the Leg 2 of the Worlds Collide Tour, which I think is pretty reasonable because of the special effects and the traveling expenses, what have you. Disney's going to really, dig in deeper to their wallet than ever before because they realize the potential with Descendants and Zombies, and they're taking full advantage of that, which I fully support. But I think that if you're uploading videos about Descendants and Zombies Worlds Collide Tour reviews, which people are, one of the top trends right now on YouTube is what people are looking for, Descendants and Zombies Worlds Collide Tour reviews. I think that if you're uploading reviews of the tour, the least thing you can do is show it the respect it deserves. Because when you have stars exemplifying such a work ethic, so proud to be in moments with people, I think this is wonderful. I think this is great. I think this is a wonderful time to be a fan of Disney. There's been no better time to be a fan of Disney than now. I would love for this to last for forever. And believe you me, if it were up to me, Descendants and Zombies would last forever because it's captivated so many hearts. People are some of the best friends ever now because of Descendants and Zombies. I have never seen a conversation that hasn't started with, are you a fan of Descendants and Zombies? And if the answer is yes, then they're friends for the rest of their lives. I've seen this with my own two eyes. People who were friends ever since 7 years old are still friends at 17. They're graduating high school now because they remember how passionate they were about Descendants and Zombies. The one thing that you never forget about in this lifetime now is being a fan of Descendants and Zombies. I watched Descendants and Zombies for the first time when I was 25, perhaps a little bit older, but I think I was 25. And I'm still as big of a fan of Descendants and Zombies as I was 10 years ago. Just yesterday, I watched the original Wizard of Oz, trying to prepare myself for the Wicked reboot coming out on November 21st, Wicked for Good. I've always loved musicals. I've had a greater appreciation for musicals all of my lifetime. There's no denial coming from me about that. So if you want a guy on YouTube that's very passionate about Descendants of Zombies, who will forever and always go out of his way to say something nice about your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars, and you're going to want to keep it locked on this YouTube channel. I promise you that October will be a big month on this YouTube channel, because I will celebrate the birthdays of Freya Sky, Ruby Rose Turner, the way that they were meant to be celebrated. Because I think that if you're going to honor your favorite stars of Disney Channel or Disney Plus, then there's no better way to do it than by talking and showcasing your passion for Descendants of Zombies. I've loved showcasing this. There's no denying coming from me that I'm the biggest Ruby Rose Turner fan in the world. Ever since her days on Coop and Cammy Ask the World, I remember how much passion was behind her character, Cammy Rather. It was amazing. You knew she was going to be something special. I didn't know at that time she was going to go on to become one of the most revered Descendants characters of all time, Bridget in Red. Bridget, I remember how Bridget became everybody's character just as fast as you could snap your fingers. And you could see why she was everybody's favorite character, because she was just so passionate about everything she did. She was so appreciative of the moment. And I wish more people like Miley Cyrus and Emily Osment would have been appreciative of that moment. You know, realizing how popular Hannah Montana would go on to be. You think they would have made more of an effort to be friends, but I guess that's more difficult to do when you don't really like the person that you're working with. You've never met them before. It's really difficult to be, on-screen friends when you're never friends in real life. So, I understand it from that perspective, but you think you would have made more of an effort to really bring Hannah Montana to life and really shown the appreciation to the franchise that it deserved. And this is why I say forever and always, Hannah Montana will go down in history for being the most successful Disney Channel series of all time. There's no denying that, or no argument that can be presented. But I think that definitely, if there ever was a candidate to break the record of High School Musical, to become the most revered Disney Channel series of all time, it's got to be Descendants of Zombies. I mean, look at the reviews that were posted within hours of Descendants' premiere back in 2015. On Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb.com, people could never say enough good things about it until the criticism started to settle in for Descendants of Zombies, because everything is criticized to a certain extent. I've never wanted to do it. I wanted to shy away from that, because all I've ever wanted to do on this YouTube channel is give people hope, which I see nothing wrong with, because I'm here to tell you guys that if you're a fan of Descendants of Zombies, I see nothing wrong with that. I fully support you. I love you guys for being fans of Descendants of Zombies. I love you for getting lost in these moments that you were lost in during the Worlds Collide Tour, because the Worlds Collide Tour exploded in popularity. I've never seen fans that were so energetic, so appreciative of the moment, so appreciative of the stars, so excited to meet the stars. That was incredible. I would have loved the opportunity to meet Freya Sky and Meg Donnelly and Kylie Cantrell. Big fans of them. I've been a fan of Kylie Cantrell ever since her YouTube show Hello Kylie, because I was a huge fan of shows like Victorious and Sam and Cat. I wanted to find somebody on YouTube that, shared the same passions that I did, and I gave Kylie Cantrell so many shout-outs on my YouTube channel after I saw Hello Kylie for the first time. I knew she had something special. I knew she was going to be something special, and I forever and always supported her because of it. And I think more people eventually, realized the potential that existed with Kylie Cantrell. I think that Kylie Cantrell has a bright future. I think that she should be given more opportunities. I spoke on the live-action Hercules here just a few moments ago. I think that she would have been a fabulous addition to the cast of the Hercules, just as Ruby Rose Turner would have been a fabulous addition to the live-action Tangled cast. I will forever leave the door open for that to happen, and I will be front and center for Ruby Rose Turner if she does don the role of Rapunzel, because, as I just said, I think way too much of the conversation has revolved around Sabrina Carpenter for far long enough now, because of her aunt being Nancy Cartwright, of course, the voice of Bart Simpson. She's a true legend, but I think that family is very overrated, overshadowing people like Kylie Cantrell for forever. I will have more to say on this afternoon on a new podcast that I will upload. But I think that the appreciation that comes from fans about Descendants of Zombies is truly undeniable. It is something that I think is never given enough credit or shown the respect it deserves. And I just want you guys to know that I will forever and always be supportive of each and every one of you for being fans of Descendants of Zombies, because this is so cool. This is a generation of Disney I've never felt so honored to be a part of. I felt honored to be a part of every generation that I ever was a part of when it came to Disney and Descendants, but this generation is unbelievable. And you got to believe me, I've been there for everything from Disney from the very beginning. Since the lateral part of the 1980s, I was a huge fan of Disney ever since at least 1988. Ever since I knew how to talk, I was a huge fan of Descendants, a huge fan of Disney, I will say, and then eventually became a fan of Descendants of Zombies. So this really has been the greatest honor of my life, and there is nothing else I would rather be doing today, spending my Saturday afternoon with all of you guys, talking about Descendants of Zombies, because this really is the greatest honor of my life and the most fun that I've ever had in my entire existence. Guys, thank you so much for all the love that you've shown this YouTube channel. Keep on subscribing. Keep on hitting my like button, because I've got a whole lot to say where Descendants of Zombies goes. I will be back later on this afternoon with a new podcast. My thoughts on Sabrina Carpenter in there, Kylie Control in there, like forever and always. I'm going to go ahead and upload this video to my YouTube channel and hope, one can only hope, that somebody is going to watch this podcast and subscribe to it. Guys, thank you so much for all the love and support you have continuously and forever and always showed this YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much. Stay calm and zombie on into the foreseeable future, because that really is the only way to be in this lifetime.